Ladies and gentlemen, hi, I'm Dan John, and I just recently returned from a cruise on the brand new Celebrity Ascent. The cruise went to St. Kitts, Puerto Rico, and Tortola. While I normally really enjoy cruising, this one wasn't quite so good. And that's what we're going to talk about today. What I didn't like about this cruise, including a 3 a.m. unnecessary emergency phone call. Unfortunately, it got me up and kept me up. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can see the next video where I talked about what I actually did like about this cruise. The number one thing I didn't like about this trip was there's no good place to sit and look out the front and relax. There are several places where some people can go sit up front, like if you're in the retreat, which means you're in a suite on the ship. They have this beautiful area reserved up top on the ship so you can look out the front. Or if you are in the spa, you can relax and sit in these cool looking spa chairs and relax and look out the front. Or if you want to work out, you can actually work out in the workout room and ride one of those stationary bikes and look out the front. But that's not for me. I like to relax and look out the front. I know that when we took the Millennium, which is obviously a Millennium class ship, through the Panama Canal, that was fabulous because they have the Sky Lounge and you can go sit in the Sky Lounge and have this wonderful view of your ship and of everything that's going on around you as you go through the Panama Canal. I also really enjoyed hanging out in the Sky Lounge on the Solstice class ship, which I took to Alaska. And that was fabulous. You got a great view of the whales way off on the horizon. You can see them for miles. It's really, really fun to sit up there in that lounge and see what's coming. And even on this ship, the captains, learn more about that on the next video, suggested that you go to www look out the window to find out what the weather was. Well, you can't really see what the weather is that's coming because you're going that way and you can't see that way. So unless you're in the retreat class or unless you want to go to the workout room, you can't really even go to the look out the window to see what the weather's going to be, where you're headed. Another thing I didn't really like about this ship was that we rarely got the same waiter. We had 4 different dining rooms for the main dining. There's the Tuscan, the Cosmopolitan, the Normandy, and the Cypress. And it is kind of fun to go around to the different dining rooms and see what they look like, although they really aren't that much different. But I really do enjoy getting to know your waiter and having them get to know what your food preferences are, what your allergies are, so you don't have to have the same question every night. Good evening, sir. What are your allergies? Get the same drinks. Personally, I like to have tea with my dinners, and they get to know that. After 2 nights, the third night, boom, the tea's there, and I don't even have to ask for it. And that's a really great experience. You don't really get that on many other vacations where you get to know your waiter over and over like that. I mean, if you have your favorite restaurant at home, they might get to know you like that. But that's, to me, one of the fun parts of being on the cruise ship. And the way they had things set up here, for whatever reason, I really couldn't get the same waiter. In fact, we had one waiter that we thought was wonderful. His name was Lawrence. And we would go into the restaurant that he worked at, which was only one of the 4 restaurants. He happened to work in the Cosmopolitan. And we'd say, hey, can you sit us with Lawrence? And they'd say yes, but then they didn't sit us with Lawrence. So I don't know what was going on there. Anyway, that's one of the downsides of the Edge class ships. Another change that they made that I don't like is a change to the Future Cruise program. The Future Cruise program is something that allows you to go on the ship while you're cruising, buy a certificate called the Book Later program, or you could book it on the ship, but I always buy the Book Later program because I like working with my travel agent. You can buy this Book Later program certificate for $100, and what that gives you is a $100 deposit. It actually serves as your deposit on the next cruise. So you get your $100 back as the deposit on the next cruise. And then in addition, if you book within 3 months, you get a $100, roughly, could be up to $500 if you get a suite, but usually what I get is worth $100 as a cabin onboard credit for your next cruise. So it's a good deal. You basically get an extra $100 for buying that certificate. And it used to be, this was no risk, because if you didn't buy your next cruise within a year, you'd get a refund of your $100. But now they've changed it so that you no longer get the refund. If you don't buy the cruise you lose your $100. Another thing about Celebrity I kind of don't like is their loyalty program. And for Celebrity, that's called Captain's Club. Pretty much all the big cruise lines have something. You know, Carnival has something, Norwegian has something, Royal Caribbean has something. For Celebrity, the Captain's Club is their loyalty program. And you have tiers. So as the more you sail, you move up in these tiers and the benefits change as you move up. Well, so I've now sailed over 2 months of my life on Celebrity. And at this point, I'm still in almost the lowest tier. So the lowest tier is you haven't sailed one night. As soon as you sailed one night, you're in what's called the classic tier. And I'm in the classic tier now. And I have been in the classic tier for the last 2 months that I've been sailing Celebrity. And what that gets me is it gets me a complimentary scoop of gelato. Well, so I like gelato, but it doesn't keep me coming back. And especially on an Edge class ship, which doesn't even have a gelato shop. So I can't even get that scoop of gelato, although they were serving gelato to everyone in the little ice cream area. And that was good, but it doesn't make me feel special. The other benefits that you can get at the classic tier, which is what I'm at, is you can get a welcome event, which I went to, and you can get some wine there. But it only lasts for an hour, and it's a one-time thing. You can get 10% off a Wi-Fi package, and I don't know what their Wi-Fi is. It's like $35 per day or something. I don't know, $25 a day. I don't know what it is, but 10% isn't much. You can get 10% off a drink package. Pretty much nothing that I really want to use, and if I did want to use it, it wasn't a big savings, and it's certainly not a reason to keep me coming back. I think I have to sail for another month, and then I get moved up to the select tier, and the select tier now gives me 25% off Wi-Fi. It gives me a discount on a bag of laundry, which I think it's like $25 to get a bag of laundry cleaned for you. And you can get 10% discount at the spa. Not something I'm really excited about. The room had several problems with it too. So first and foremost, there was that smell. Oh, that smell. The cruise ship smell that I've smelled in the past on other ships. I just assumed, hey, that's something you get with old ships. But this ship was brand new. It was basically 2 months old when I went on it. So it's a brand new ship. I was expecting you get that new car smell. I was hoping for that new ship smell, but no. Actually, you get the old ship smell because several times throughout the trip, I would hear this gurgling sound coming from my bathroom. Gurgle, 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 gurgle. And when that was happening, oh my goodness, that bathroom smelled like 1,000 people farted in it. It was awful. It was the worst smell since any smell I've ever smelled. And so I closed the door to the bathroom, and that pretty much prevented the smell from going in the rest of the room. It's really difficult to deal with that smell, so I kind of had to leave the room when that was happening. Thankfully, I didn't notice it at night. It only happened during the day. Another thing I did notice at night was there was creaking. So, you expect this brand new ship to be well-built, solid, but I don't know what was creaking. But several nights we had a little bit of rock, not enough to make you sick. And that was enough, though, to hear some clanking all night long. And my brother down the hall, at the other end of the ship, reported the same problem. He said that he heard a lot of clanking several nights on the trip, and he didn't know what it was. He thought it was people working until I pointed out that it was actually the ship just making sounds. And then there was the worst. The most egregious, worst thing they could do to me, which was in the middle of the night at 12:30 a.m., they sent me a spam message advertising the spot. And this message made my little light on my phone start blinking. It didn't make my phone ring. They didn't actually ring it. They just sent a voicemail message to my phone. And as soon as that voicemail message arrived to my phone, the little red light started blinking. And I'm sleeping, it's 12:30 a.m. And then at 3 o'clock, I kind of wake up a little bit and I see the light. And I think, oh no, somebody I care about is in trouble. Must be an emergency. So I turn on the light, 3 a.m., turn on the light. I find the little button that says play messages and I listen. And this is what I hear.
Message received on March 2nd, 2024 at 30 past 0 a.m. Good afternoon, this is the spa director, and as we are having tomorrow last day of the cruise, we prepared for you the last day special relaxation package.
And I'm thinking, oh no, this went on for 50 seconds of an advertisement for the spa. And on another spam message that I'd gotten from another department in the ship, I hit 1 to delete it. So I thought, oh, okay, fine, I'll hit 1 to delete it. Well, no, I hit 1 and it replayed the message. And I'm thinking, okay, there's no way I'm going to listen to this for another 50 seconds to hear how to delete this message. So I hang up the phone. Of course, it's still blinking because I hadn't deleted the message. And so I jammed the phone into a cupboard, and I took a pillow and I jammed the pillow on top of the phone to block the light. And then I never got back to sleep that night. So I woke up at 3. I ended up getting out on the ship deck at like 5:30 in the morning and walking around. And I did enjoy the sunrise, but that is not the way I want to do it. So to wrap things up, I'd like to talk a little bit about the rapidly escalating prices on cruises, not just in the cruise tickets, which are certainly going up, but also in everything on the ship. You're looking at the drink menu, you're looking at the gift shop. This is a shirt I bought at the gift shop. This shirt was a $90 shirt. It should have probably been a $60 shirt, but look at me, I spent on it, there you go. There's the specialty restaurants are just skyrocketing. Like they have this new restaurant on the Celebrity Ascent, which goes for like 150, maybe $200 per person for a meal. And then you have to add gratuity on top of that. So these things can get super expensive. They've got excursion prices are skyrocketing. All of this is their onboard spend behavior, is what the big shots like to call it that run the company. And they also talk about this value gap. The value gap between a land-based vacation and a cruise-based vacation is something they're trying to close. And so they're doing that by increasing prices. So there you have it. That's all the bad stuff about the Celebrity Ascent. And to be honest, I probably won't go on another Edge class ship again. I might, who knows, but I'd rather go on a Millennium class ship or a Solstice class ship because they have the wonderful Sky Lounge, which just doesn't exist on the Edge class. So stay tuned. We're going to have more videos, and we're going to have a fun one where we talk about what was actually fun and what I really enjoyed about our last cruise. Stay tuned. Subscribe.